Today, I will answer whether Space Invaders is retro or rubbish. Let's get into it. On retro or rubbish, I take time out of my day and answer the question that we all wonder: if a game belongs in the beloved retro, or if it should be thrown in the rubbish pile like those old ET cartridges did in New Mexico. So let's go way back to the retro era of the 2600. First up is the 2600 port of Space Invaders, which was released in 1980. It was the first time people could actually go and play the game from home. Now let's get to the gameplay. Alright, and here we are in the gameplay. So as we can kind of see, it basically plays like the original 2600, like the original Space Invaders. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, the sounds are there. I mean, Space Invaders to me has always been a retro game. There's no way around it. No version of it can be that bad. Especially with the increasing difficulty. I know I haven't played for a while. So let's see what we can go and figure out here. So the graphics aren't horrible. I'm just trying to see if I can get a couple of them to speed up here real quick. I don't like how the score keeps flashing by whenever the alien comes by at the top. But, I mean, I feel like I'm just nitpicking here. Whoa. Oh man. Alright. I got this. So it wasn't too bad. Here we move on to round 2. I mean, to be honest with you, not playing Space Invaders for a while, this is exactly what Space Invaders is supposed to be. And there's nothing against that. The neat thing on the 2600 too is there's actually different games you can play. You can go and play cooperative modes with your friend. For example, one person has control of the chute, the other person moves. There's another mode where one person moves left, the other person moves right. So that's kind of makes it a lot more fun, and you're constantly trying to figure out where to move. I mean, the graphics aren't that bad. You can tell the difference between every alien. I mean, it could have been a lot worse. And the speed up for the increased difficulty is there. Another neat thing it does, it actually has 4 different modes that were never even in the arcade. The first mode makes all of the aliens invisible, which that is a hard one to play. The only time you can see them is whenever they shoot, they flash for a single second on the screen. So that's always hard. Another one is your bombs and the aliens' bombs move at diagonals. Every shot is randomized, so you never know whether it's going to be yours that moves or right or left or how much. So that one is a nice increase in difficulty there. Another one is you have super fast bombs. So all of the shots move super fast. And then with the 2600 too, there's actually different modes where you can go and do multiples of these at once. So you can have the fast shots and the invisible. And then the last mode of the 4, let me get them, is your shields move left and right. So there's no protection at all. Which, I mean, they do help out a lot, especially on the increased difficulties when you start getting up there in the speed. I know with me, since I haven't played in so while, I know they keep taking my shields down super fast. And there we go. But all in all, I gotta say, this game is still pretty retro. I know for the 2600 it's a very simple, since it just has one button. But you can't go wrong with Space Invaders, so I gotta go and give this one a retro. Next up is Pac-Man for the 2600. Pac-Man was the highest selling game on 2600 for a little while, with 12 million copies being made and only 11 consoles to play it on. And yes, I checked the numbers. They were getting a little ahead of themselves when they made this one. Now let's go and talk to Future John and see what he thinks of the game. It's a stinker. Now we can finally go and get into Pac-Man for the 2600. And as you can see, there's something off about it. I know the big complaint about it is that the portals are now at the top and the bottom, But as I'm playing it, all of the controls are super laggy. I'm having problems getting around. It's just not the best version of Pac-Man you could ever play. Now, yes, Pac-Man is a big 80s thing, but this is not where you want to go. I've played enough Pac-Man in my life to know that the AI in these ghosts is not the same. There's something wrong with them. Every once in a while, you'll see that after I die, there's only 3 of them. It's because that one of them is constantly following the other one. He doesn't turn at all when he goes up and down. It's just not the superior way. Just not the superior way to play Pac-Man at all. So yeah, all 3 of them come out at once instead of being delayed. There's something seriously wrong with this version of it. Again, there we have 3. Last time we saw that we had 4. So now he separates. So let me just try and finish this round off real quick. Yeah, they're supposed to run from you. Alright. So here we go on to another one. I can't call this retro at all. This is just complete garbage of a game. It looks like this is something some kid tried to make in his garage because he liked playing Pac-Man so much. I know the graphics for 2600 aren't really there, but they could at least try and keep the design. I'm not sure if the 2600 could have went and did the AI properly or not, but there's just something that is not right about this game. It is not retro at all. You can find a lot better ways to play retro Pac-Man than this. So yeah, that's my final verdict. This game belongs in the garbage. You know what? Matter of fact, I think I'm going to go pop this in the garbage right now. That's where it belongs, in the rubbish pile. Can I have that cartridge back? It's the only one I have. After that last game, that's all the rubbish I can take for one day. But before I go, I want to know what game you'd like to see on Retro Rubbish. Post down there in the comments and tell me which one you'd like to see. Or you can tell me what you thought about Pac-Man for the 2600, because there's a lot to not like about it. Now, I mean, unless you like having seizures, clawing your eyes out with the rusty spoon that you found under your neighbor's shed while he was out on the field putting lipstick on a scarecrow. I mean, doesn't everyone have that kind of neighbor? Or is it just me?